June 2014, a small town in Vermont. A 92-year-old man dies quietly in a hospital bed. His name is Ronald Read. For 25 years, he pumped gas at a local station. After that, he swept floors at a department store. 17 more years, part-time into his 70s. His coat was held together with safety pins. He parked his old Toyota far from the store to avoid the parking meter. Some regulars at the diner quietly worried whether the old man could afford his morning coffee.
Poor old Ron. Somebody should cover his coffee.
He counts his change every single time.
Then the lawyers opened his will. $8 million. And here's the part that should keep you watching. He didn't win anything. He didn't inherit anything. He didn't even earn good money. What Ronald Read did, anyone can copy. And by the end of this video, you'll know the exact machine he built. Ronald Read was born in 1921 on a farm with no electricity. He walked and hitchhiked 6 kilometers to school every day and became the first person in his family to graduate high school. Then came the war, then the gas station. 25 years of pumping gas, fixing tires, greasing engines. His salary? Modest. On paper, one of the least promising financial lives in America. But Ron had 2 habits that would quietly turn him into a multimillionaire. Habit 1. He lived on almost nothing. Not out of misery, but out of contentment. The house was paid off. The Toyota ran fine. Why replace what works?
Ron, that coat's older than me! Treat yourself!
The coat works. The money's got a better job to do.
Habit 2, and this is the one that made him rich. Every dollar that Gap produced, the space between his small income and his even smaller spending, went into one specific place. Not a savings account, not under the mattress, stocks. Now let's open the machine, because this is where it gets interesting for your money. Ron didn't gamble. He bought shares of companies he understood, companies whose products he could see with his own eyes. The bank downtown, the railroad, Johnson & Johnson in every bathroom, Procter & Gamble on every supermarket shelf. These are called blue chips, big, boring companies that have survived wars, crashes, and bad presidents, and that share their profits with you. That profit sharing has a name: dividends. Here's how it works, in one sentence. When you own a share, the company pays you a slice of its earnings, in cash, usually every 3 months, just for holding it.
The mailman brought you money again?
That's the railroad, son. I own a piece of it.
And now the trick that separates the rich from everyone else. Ron never spent those dividend checks. He used them to buy more shares, which produced more dividends, which bought more shares. That loop has a name: compounding. Einstein allegedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. Whether he really said it or not, the math is real. Money that earns money, where the earnings start earning too. For the first 10 years, the loop feels like nothing. Ron's pile grew slowly, invisibly. But compounding isn't a straight line. It's a curve that starts flat and ends like a rocket. Let's make that curve real, with numbers you can check on any calculator. Say you invest $300 a month, just $300. At the market's long-term average return, call it 8% a year. After 10 years, you've put in $36,000 and you're sitting on about $55,000. Nice, not life-changing. After 20 years, roughly $175,000. After 30 years, over $400,000. And after 40 years, the same boring $300 a month, you cross $1 million. You contributed $144,000. The machine built the rest. Same dollars, same fund. The only ingredient that changed was time. Which brings us to the hardest truth in all of investing. The first $100,000 is brutal. It's almost all your money. Your skipped upgrades, your packed lunches, your discipline. The machine barely helps. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, famously told a young man, "I don't care what you have to do, find a way to get $100,000 together. After that, you can ease off a little." Because after the first $100K, the snowball starts pushing itself. Ron's snowball rolled for 65 years. That's how a gas station salary becomes $8 million. Now, here's where most people's story would end. Ron lived through the crash of 1987, the single worst day in stock market history. 22%. Gone. In one day.
Ron, the market's collapsing. Are you selling?
Selling? Son, everything's on sale.
He didn't sell. Not in '87. Not in the dot-com crash of 2000. Not in 2008, when the banks themselves were dying and his portfolio dropped by hundreds of thousands of dollars on paper. Why does this matter so much? Because the market's biggest recovery days hide right next to its worst days. Miss just the 10 best days in 30 years, and your final result gets cut roughly in half. The people who sell in a panic are the ones who miss them. Ron's edge wasn't intelligence. Wall Street analysts with 3 screens and a math degree got beaten by a janitor with a coffee habit. His edge was that he never interrupted the machine. Time in the market beats timing the market. Ron had 65 years in. His portfolio didn't just survive the crashes, it was built by buying straight through them. And before you say, well, times were different, let's look at what Ron didn't have. No online broker. He paid real commissions on every single purchase. No index funds for most of his life. No dividend reinvestment button. He did it by hand, on paper, with stamps and envelopes. No YouTube video explaining any of this. You are holding more investing power in your pocket right now than Ron had access to in his entire lifetime. He built 8 million with worse tools. The tools were never the problem. There's one more ingredient, and it's the strangest one. Silence. Nobody knew. Not his stepchildren, not his closest friends. His own lawyer only found the full picture after his death. A 5-inch stack of stock certificates in a bank safe deposit box.
These are all his?
95 companies, 65 years, not one loan against them.
Why does the silence matter? Because visible money attracts hands. Requests, expectations, salesmen, sure-thing business ideas from cousins. Ron's wealth compounded undisturbed for 6 decades, partly because no one knew it existed. And when he died, the invisible man became impossible to ignore. $1.2 million to the local library. $4.8 million to the hospital. The 2 biggest gifts either institution had ever received. From the man whose coffee the diner regulars wanted to cover. Now compare Ron's math to the average person's math. The average new car payment in America is over $700 a month, and the moment it's paid off, most people roll straight into the next one. Run that through the machine. $700 a month, invested instead over a working life. That's the difference between retiring stressed and retiring wealthy. 1 recurring payment. That's not a car in the driveway, that's a monument to interrupted compounding. Ron saw it exactly that way, which is why the Toyota stayed. So what's actually copyable here? Because you shouldn't copy all of it. Even Ron's lawyer said he took frugality too far. Safety pins are optional. 3 parts of the machine work for anyone. 1. The gap is the engine, not your salary, the gap. A janitor's income with a gap beats a lawyer's income without one. Decide your baseline lifestyle and let every raise widen the gap instead of the lifestyle. 2. Boring and automatic beats brilliant and emotional. Ron picked stocks by hand, and it worked. But he'd be the first to tell you it took 65 years of homework. Today you can buy the whole market in one move with an index fund and get the same compounding loop with less risk on any single company. 3. Never interrupt the machine. The crash is not the danger. You are the danger. Your finger on the sell button at the worst possible moment. Ron's superpower was doing nothing, decade after decade. I can already hear the 3 objections. I don't earn enough. Ron pumped gas. The gap matters more than the paycheck, and even $50 a month starts the machine. I'm too old, it's too late. Ron was still buying stocks in his 80s, and the second best day to start is always today. The market's too high, I'll wait for the crash. Ron bought through every high and every crash for 65 years and never once guessed right, because he never guessed at all. The objections all die the same way. The machine doesn't need perfect conditions, it needs you to start it.
8 million. He never said a word.
The quiet ones own the railroad, honey.
Today there's a new wing at the hospital in Brattleboro. The library bought new computers, new books, new programs for kids who walk there after school. Kids who will never know the man who paid for it all counted his change at the diner. The town that quietly pitied Ronald Read now lives, every single day, inside his compound interest. A farm boy with no electricity, a gas station, a broom, and $8 million that nobody saw coming. Built out of a gap, a loop, and 65 years of patience. The machine doesn't care who you are. It only cares that you started and that you never turn it off. If this made money make a little more sense, subscribe. New stories and breakdowns every single day. Money Stuff, simply explained.